Hello there. Yesterday, I was chatting with you about tracking your time and how it's really hard to hire people if you don't know what you need to hire for. And I talked to you about how I'm in that position now where I need to hire somebody. And I have been in this position, or I have needed to hire somebody for a few months, but I am secretly afraid to do it. I'm afraid because I don't know how to even write a job description. I don't know how to interview people, or like, what questions do I ask them? How do I know if they give me an answer that's like good? That's not really, but like, how do I choose somebody? And I think that a lot of this fear comes from the intuitive aspects of hiring people. It's not necessarily like a linear thought process, or at least not in my brain, because I don't know how to do it. So I'm just now trying to go through this process, and I really have no idea what I'm doing. And it was brought to my attention earlier that it can be a more broken down step-by-step process than I think I'm allowing myself to believe, but also that maybe I don't need to put so much pressure on myself to do this perfectly. Like, it's gonna take time. It's gonna be something that I am gonna make mistakes at, but that, I get to choose the person that I hire. So I can choose them for whatever reasons make sense to me. And there is going to be some training involved. There is going to be time invested in this, but it's not necessarily like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. And like, you're better off trying to do this and making mistakes at it than not doing it at all and just making the situation that I'm in worse. It's also one of those like 1,000 pots things, I think. I guess everything's kind of 1,000 pots things. There's like that I don't know what it's called, but like, you have a class that's making pots, and then they separate into two pieces of the class, and then the one side is like, you got to make a perfect pot. So they spend all their time just like designing this pot, and then they're gonna like, they get one chance to make this pot. Well, I guess that's not really specified, but they one perfect pot. Then the other side is like, make as like 1,000 pots. It doesn't matter what they look like. Well, the team that does the 1,000 ultimately ends up making a much better pot because they have all this experience now in the 999 pots that came before it. Versus the team that's never done it, that just spent all their time in the theoretical piece of this exercise. And so I find that I get very hung up in the theoretical stuff because I'm like, oh, do I know enough? Like, am I gonna make a mistake about, like, am I gonna do this when I should have done that, and then I'll end up way over here, and then like, boom, why do I even bother? I'm not even gonna do it. And I am working on that. And I think I'm really good at that in some cases, but when it is a big, important decision, that's where I like to spend my time. It's just in prepping for the decision itself and not actually taking any steps. So if you're feeling this way about a decision that you need to make, or a next big step in your business, then I encourage you to just take the first step. Whatever that step is, just take it and do it for real. I started doing job descriptions, and I kind of stopped and was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, I'll come back to this. I'm busy, whatever. And, now I'm feeling like I really haven't given this job description thing a good college try. It's not the term that I wanted, but that's what's out there now. I really didn't give it a good go, and so today I'm trying to do that. And there's a lot of that fear that's happening for me, and it's causing procrastination, and it's causing me to go really slowly and to want to just look stuff up. How to write the perfect job description. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it today. I've set a deadline. I promised a friend of mine that I would send it to her to look at. And so now I'm doing it. And it feels a little better. It feels a little better to have just started. If you're feeling like this about your accounting or your bookkeeping, and you're feeling like this is just a big, overwhelming mess that I don't even want to deal with, just take the first step. I've linked to a resource that I created. It's a really brief PDF document about the 7 most common mistakes that small business owners make with their accounting. So that could be your first step. Actually, that could be your first step. Read that. That's step 1. Step 2, you'll have to decide for yourself. I believe in you, though. You can definitely do this. If I can write a job description, you can definitely take the first step in your business as well. I would love to hear hints, tips, tricks, about hiring people. Bad stories, maybe not bad stories, just good stories, because I'm already full of fear. I don't probably need horror stories as well. But if you have any lovely stories about hiring people and how that's made a big impact on your life, I would love to hear about it. Leave it for me in the comments. I will see you tomorrow.